wow, this is exactly what the Chargers needed.
Yeah.
Tre Harris is an X.
Yep.
He's a straight line X, as you mentioned. I think there's something to develop there. And the Chargers get an X receiver here, which allows Ladd McConkey to be a flanker in 2 receiver sets and move into the slot. And also, this, I think, really helps Quentin Johnston.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Chargers now select from their X spot, or they needed an X receiver. They go and pick up Tre Harris out of Ole Miss, 6'2", 205 pounds. He ran a 4.5, 4.40 with a 38.5-inch vertical. Both you and Lance Zierlein from NFL.com, and by the way, man, nobody does more work in terms of the scouting process from these collegiate prospects than Lance Zierlein. He's great. You both comped him to Alec Pierce, right? So Tre Harris, very much a straight line vertical X receiver. What'd you think of the move?
Yeah, this was one of those just like, wow, this is exactly what the Chargers needed.
Yeah.
This is exactly the guy that they needed. You could sit there and say like, all right, well, if they had went Emeka Egbuka in the first round, like, could he do some things at Ladd McConkey?
Sure.
You could get there. But this just like makes so much sense. On paper, this just makes so much sense. And again, it's similar to what we talked about earlier with, or on yesterday's episode, whenever the hell day it was, the other episode about Tet McMillan in Carolina.
Yeah.
Where you're now slotting everybody into comfortable positions.
Right.
Tre Harris is an X.
Yep.
He's a straight line X, as you mentioned. 78.8% of his snaps outside on the line of scrimmage are 54.9%. And he's a straight line guy. He's going to maybe start off as a sacrificial X receiver, but hopefully develop into more. Because while he does fit on that archetype of guys like Alec Pierce, and we did the Terrace Marshall kind of scary comparison.
Oh boy.
I don't think he's going to become the next DK Metcalf. He's not that type of size speed freak show, but he does have good marks against press man coverage. 78th percentile success rate versus press. I think there's something to develop there. And the Chargers get an X receiver here, which allows Ladd McConkey to be a flanker in 2 receiver sets and move into the slot. And also, this I think really helps Quentin Johnston because he just is not I think QJ is obviously always going to be a disappointing first rounder, but I don't think he's somebody that you just can't play. You just can't count on him to be, number one, he can't play X because he can't track the ball over his shoulder and he can't beat press coverage consistently. But when you get him on the move horizontally, very similar to Xavier Legette, despite the size, speed, those are his best stuff. Let's get him moving off the line of scrimmage as a flanker. I think Tre Harris allows you to do that.
Okay, so we talked about some of the routes that Tre Harris is really good at. 85% success rate on the slants, 88% on the curls. I just thought from a film perspective, he does such a good job threatening vertical, so that when he whips back to the quarterback, it really works out really, really well. Again, 88% success rate on the curl route. That's really good. And again, 85% success rate on those slant routes too. It's just he does such a good job threatening vertical and then whipping it back either to the inside, breaking it to the inside, or coming back to the quarterback. I think these are traits, to me, Matt, that I think is going to play perfectly with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and the ball skills are significantly better than some of the outside guys they've rolled out lately. 25% contested target rate or 21.5% contested target rate in reception perception, 75% contested catch rate. Good numbers. I think the ball skills are there. He got, I think, better and better. He's a collegiate quarterback. He was Malik Neighbors' college quarterback.
Oh, wow.
So he is still developing as a receiver. So, he might, again, is he going to be ready to be a number one receiver? Well, he doesn't have to be a number one.
Doesn't have to be. No.
They have Ladd McConkey, but is he ready to be like a real deal 1B or something right away as a rookie?
Is he an every down player?
I mean, I think, is he going to open the season as an every down player? You never know with rookies. Quentin Johnston's been there, but I think in time he should be able to play really early as a rookie. He should be able to play, and then maybe by the end of the season he's an every down player because also, by the way, they have Mike Williams. So maybe it's a redshirt season for Tre Harris. It's possible, but I'd be surprised.
You're not spending this kind of draft capital on a guy though to have him
not play, especially when receiver is a huge need for you.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just kind of what's old is new again here for the Chargers. That when they drafted Quentin Johnston, I think they looked at him as hey, we're gonna redshirt you. We're gonna hopefully bring you along slowly.
Yeah.
As long as Mike Williams doesn't get hurt.
Which was such a bad
a terrible plan, because then 4 games into the season,
Mike Williams hurt.
Mike Williams was out for the year on IR.
Yep.
And I think though, then they threw him out at X, and it obviously did not go well for Quentin Johnston as a rookie. And I still continue to maintain he's not an X. So hopefully, if Mike Williams can start the season as their X, if he gets hurt in week 4 or whatever this time, I think Harris is a little more equipped to go out there and do X receiver stuff, even if he obviously is coming from a goofy collegiate offense with Lane Kiffin and everything going on.
The one thing I would say too, and we've actually talked about Lane Kiffin's offense, where it seems as if everything breaks inside, and I think Tre Harris was certainly part of that as well. I would say this: the few opportunities that I did see him try to get a ball along the sidelines didn't look great for me. Mm-hmm. So now, and I know you talked about the contested catch rate. I feel like so much of that was either coming back to the quarterback or breaking inside. But when we're talking about outbreakers or truly just work along the sideline, whether we're talking a corner route or even a 9 along the sides, I'm not sure I saw great work in terms of hand-eye coordination and just confidence in terms of going to stab that ball when we're talking about sideline work.
Yeah, this is why it's just a wide range of outcomes profile.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, it's definitely going to work for Tre Harris, because...
And the reason I bring that up, Matt, is because that is a skill set that I think that if you are going to play X receiver in the NFL, you got to have some of that, man.
Yeah, this is what makes the difference, again, when we're thinking about this archetype is... Are you Terrace Marshall all the way down here at the bottom, or are you Alec Pierce, kind of somewhere in the middle? Or do you get to become like DK Metcalf, Like,
sure.
I think that's where it depends on for Tre Harris. Is he just going to get stuck in that Pierce zone, or can there be more there? Because I don't think Pierce is always the best, like, operating along the sideline, but I think he stretches the defense out and he can break a little bit inside.
Yep.
So, I do think that overall, it's just he can develop those things. Those do need to get better, though, if he's going to be a full-time X.